Come up, why are you napping? Do not nap. Help me choose. I'm almost done, I promise. Come up, come up, help me choose. See? It's right, right. Just look, look, look above your head. September is the month where, interestingly enough, I decided that I was going to participate in 4 readathons. Yes, you heard that right, 4 readathons. And it just had me thinking, who else is attempting something so crazy? So drop down in the comments if it is that you're participating in any readathon, even if it's only one, or if it is that you're not participating at all because you're a way smarter person than me who decided, I repeat, to participate in 4 readathons and 4 body reads. Like, why? Because I'm a sucker for pain. We'll start things off with the books that my patrons chose for me, because just in case you did not know, I do have a patron. The link is down in the description bar. If you're interested, if you want to support me or support my channel, you can go and click on that. But anyway, my patron picked 6 books and then I split them in pairs of 3 and had Kongpub, my kitten, choose this or this. Which one do you want first? Kongpub. Yay! The Anna was by Adiba Jagrada. We follow a girl, Nishat, who is a lesbian, but her mother does not want her to be a lesbian, which is kind of complicated because you see our long lost friend, like childhood friend, returns, Flavia, and there's that instantaneous attraction, so you know that things are about to go down. But when it is that a school assignment that has each one of them coming up with like a business idea props up, and Flavia decides to start a henna business like Nishat does, there's a problem with that because see, Enna is part of Nishat's culture, but not part of Flavia's culture. And I love the fact that Adiba is looking at cultural appropriation, but unlike the way in which it's usually explored, which is from a white person appropriating the culture of a person of color. In this case, these are 2 people of color. So how exactly does Nishat navigate that along with her feelings for Flavia? I am very intrigued by this. My very good friend Sarah with an H sent me this, and this was one of our favorite books of the year. So Sarah, I'm certain you're screaming and really happy right now. But yeah, Kongpub chose the Anna Wars. Like, how did you do it, boo? How did you do it? I've put this and I've put this here. Kongpub, choose. Kongpub. No, Kongpub. You are there. Can you see food? Which one do you want first? Oh my god! Rage of Dragons by Evan Winters. It's so funny. I was having a conversation with someone like on Saturday. I was having a conversation with someone on Saturday and I was like, oh, I really need to read this book. And guess what? I am going to read this book because this book is, okay, it takes place in an empire, right? An empire where you have 1 in every 2,000 women being able to call down a dragon. Yes, you heard that right. A dragon. And then you have 1 in every 100 man like built like really strong and really powerful with amazing, like basically superhuman. And then you have Tao, who is living in this country, is an average guy, everyday guy. In fact, is actually thinking of a way to get out of Dodge because see, his country has been caught in a war for like forever, since before he was born, and he just wants to move somewhere, settle peacefully, just have a time of his life. But when it is that he is betrayed and everybody that he owes there is murdered, Tao decides that, you know what, fuck that shit, I want vengeance. And so he decides to train, he decides to put in every single thing because he wants to be the strongest, most powerful person, the most powerful man that anybody had seen in the empire in millennia. He legitimately is harnessing all that power for just one singular reason: to kill the 3 people that betrayed him. Like, I repeat, it's revenge fantasy with dragons. My cat has great taste.
A few moments later.
Seriously? You're going with Red Sister? 5th season is right there. Right there. Boy, do you have any taste? Do you have any taste? Red Sister by Matt Lawrence. This is the first book in the Book of the Ancestors series, and I'm not gonna lie, this is a series that I wanted to go in absolutely blind, so I only know the barest minimum about it, which is that they are queer assassin nuns. Like, that premise had me sold. I repeat, they are queer assassin nuns. Like, they are queer and they are assassins and they are nuns. So I'm just like, that's several layers of awesome. These are the type of women that would stab you in the heart and pull out your gut and hold it out to you and feed you, and you'll be grateful and thankful because their hands, their precious, perfect, healing, murdering hands touched your heart. Sure, you're there dying, but they touched your heart. Moving on to the first readathon that I will be participating in this month, which is Space Opera September. It's, as the title says, we read space opera novels in September, and this was made by the brilliant, amazing Thomas over at SFF 180, which, by the way, I'm going to drop his announcement video for last year in the description bar. I say last year because he didn't really do yes, he has a video out this year, but it was just a case of, okay, if you're not able to participate last year, do so, because COVID had everything all over the place and he wasn't able to actually execute it the way he wanted to. And when you see the announcement video for last year, you would understand that is one of the most brilliant, creative videos. Like, oh my God, so fucking cool. But anyway, I'm going to be participating in Space Opera September. Stop running around, stop rolling, pick a food, pick something. I read Binti and I read Binti Sacred Fire in August, so now I want to read Binti Home, and this will be fulfilling the prompt, which is for us to read a space opera novella. So I am actually pretty excited. I have zero idea I don't know what is happening in Binti Home, and I like it that way. I actually like following the story without knowing what to expect.
I like surprises.
The treats are on there now. Come Pop, do you want to go? See treat, see treat. Next, as you can see, Compop chose The Heaviness of Knowing by Charlene G. Brown. This is my pick for read a space opera book written by a diverse author, featuring a diverse protagonist and or diverse supporting characters. And the diversity in this, it refers to race or sexuality, gender, etc., etc. And I am actually very, very excited about this because my very good friend Njeri was one that recommended that I pick up this book, and Njeri has great taste, so I'm just like, I cannot wait to read this book. It follows two women. One of them is living on a world where the gods exist, and basically the gods kill people that do not believe in the gods. But see, she does not believe in the gods, and she's successfully been hiding, but she knows that time is running against her, and she's just beating her time until the gods come for her. And then you have another girl, this overachieving girl, Lauren, who is set to make a technological breakthrough until she has this mysterious illness, and through hypnosis is able to discover that, see, she's connected to the alien being Roxal, who is our character who does not believe in gods. And clearly both women are currently in danger, and it's basically about, pulling down a dystopian society and also alien invasion. I'm just several levels of awesome. I cannot wait to read it. I'm just like, look at him. It's like, nope. There. Yo. Aha! Okay, so confession time. A little tiny bit of me was hoping that Compop was going to choose Lois McMaster Bujold, just because of the fact that if you saw my series that Intimidate Me video, you will know that the Vogosigan Saga is one of the series that intimidate me, but I hope to get into soon, sometimes eventually. And I thought that this was going to be my opportunity to do so, but my cat lives for always proving me wrong. It's like, you thought, bitch. Anyway, so as we can see, he has chosen for me to read 2001 A Space Odyssey by Arthur C. Clarke. Now, this is meant to fulfill the prompt where we are meant to read a space opera novel that was published before we were born. And yeah, so see, Vogosigan Saga was published just before I was born, but 2001 A Space Odyssey, that was released in 1968. So yeah, that was definitely way before my time. Yeah, confession time, I have not read this book. I have also stayed away from the movie because I wanted to read the book first, and I never got around to reading it, so I never actually watched the movie. And I've also stayed away from all spoilers, so
I have no idea.
Ha! Yes, it's coming, it's coming. Choose. Leviathan Wakes, which is the first book in the Expanse series by James S.A. Corey. The Expanse is yet another series I have never read, and also, interestingly enough, I've actually stayed away from the TV show as well.
I see nothing, I know nothing.
I've also stayed away from the spoilers because I had friends who loved the TV show and who had also read the books, and they were like, Noria, I swear to God, if you watch this show before reading the book first, I would slaughter you. And just in case you all missed it, I kind of, so I was just like, okay, do you know what? No problem, no problem. Whatever you say. So I have never read it. I have never watched any of the episodes. I've stayed away from all spoilers, and I am actually really excited about this because the sooner I get to the series, the sooner I can eventually also move on to the TV show and be able to talk like about the Expanse. So yeah, so those are the 4 prompts and those are the 4 books I'm choosing for Space Opera September. Moving on to the next readathon on my list, which is the Monsterathon. Now, the Monsterathon is a month-long readathon as well in September, basically all about celebrating the things that go bump in the night. And I am one of the hosts. I lead the Team Conspiracies, and in Team Conspiracies, we're all about the aliens and the mutants, which if you are interested and you've not yet found a team, maybe consider joining Team Conspiracies. I'm telling you, aliens are fucking hot. Like, aliens and mutants, they have the ability and the power to, you know, fuck your brains out, and then literally fuck your brains out, because like they will take your brain, because like this ain't nothing sexy about that. They will kill you, but you will go on a high because, I repeat, they fucked your brains out. Like, you get what I'm saying? It's a win-win. Yeah, you'll be dead, but it will be a glorious death. Anyway, we'll start with the group book, which we're not to read the entire book. Each team has a short story in the book that we're meant to read to fulfill the prompts. The group book is How to Recognize a Demon Has Become Your Friend by Linda Addison. She is the first Black woman to win the Bram Stoker Award, and like, your girl is ready for the spooky, your girl is ready for the scary, and apparently this book has demons and, you know, things that wander in the shadows. It is in the title. Like, the title is not metaphorical. There are actual demons in this, and I repeat, it's the same reason why I think you should join Team Conspiracies. Like, aliens, mutants, and demons, I repeat, they would fuck your brains out and fuck your brains out.
No, my bad, I'm sorry.
I cracked myself up. Okay, so moving on to the actual first challenge on this list, because each of the teams have their own individual challenges and their own books to read. So for Team Conspiracies, the very first challenge is Area 51, and we're going to read a book featuring an alien or a mutant. And of course, I am going with The Heaviness of Knowing by Sherilyn G. Brown. I'm already reading it for Space Opera September. We already know there's an alien. There are several aliens in the book, so it will work for the prompt. Now, the second prompt is Rear View Mirror, and we're meant to read an indie book or a book that was published at the very least 5 years ago. So we're looking at 5 years or more, and I am definitely going to go with Leviathan Wakes by James S.A. Corey. Like, it was published in 2011, and that was 9 years ago, so it definitely fits Rear View Mirror for me. And also bonus, because I'll be able to terrorize more villagers. Yes, your girl lives for terrorizing villagers. Which one do you want? Which one do you want? Oh, Anna K, it is. Thank you for the choice. Even though technically it would have been cool if you had actually chosen Scarlet, because, you know, I read Cinder last month. My cat, he has no consideration for me. Zero, none, zilch, none. See, that's why he's cleaning himself while I'm going through a crisis. Anna K by Jenny Lee. Now, this is meant to fit the prompt for The Upside Down, where we're meant to read a retelling, and this is a retelling of Toys, Anna Karenina. In this, we follow our lead protagonist Anna living a normal, boring, everyday life. Yes, she's top of Manhattan Greenwich society, fairly comfortable. She has a boring boyfriend. Her father is very controlling, but she's always made him proud. And then in comes Alexia, you know, this new boy in the city, and they're caught in this whirlwind romance that will shake the very foundation of the society that they live in, and will also have Anna questioning who she actually is. I am
Ready! I'm ready. I'm ready.
Next up is The Bunker, and we're meant to read a book with disability rep or deaf representation, book Comp Up chose for me is Love from A to Z by S.K. Ali, which I am very happy about because I did start this book like 2 months ago, but something came up and I had to put it down and I never got the chance to pick it up again. So when he chose this, I was very, very happy. I am actually really excited. I absolutely adore Zainab as a character. We start the story with her basically putting a racist teacher in his place, but then that means that she gets suspended and she's sent to live with her aunt in Doha, and on her way there she kind of crosses path with Adam, who is the love interest and the second main character in the story, and they inadvertently switch journals, which in a very believable way, like trust me, it's totally believable, and through their journals they connect and then, you know, eventually fall in love. I am ready, and it's awesome and beautiful, and I'm ready. And Adam in this story has multiple sclerosis, so he totally fits the disability rep for this book. I repeat, I cannot wait. Next up is the third readathon on my list, which is the pop culture Minathon. It's 4 prompts, all inspired by the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And the very first prompt is original and vivid. Head bitch in charge. We're meant to read a book with a character that is the head bitch in charge. We are almost done, I promise. It's like the second to the last. Second to the last, baby. Just help me pick. There you go. Just calm down and help me pick. Help me pick. Thank you. Bone Criers Moon by Catherine Purdy. In this, basically, the Bone Criers are a group of women whose job it is to ferry the souls of the dead in order to keep the dead from preying on the living. And their responsibility also comes with a sacrifice, in the sense that they must kill the people that they are destined to love. And in this case, our lead character Elise is destined to love Bastian, so she's meant to kill him. But the thing about it is that Bastian wants to kill the Bone Criers because one of them had killed his father, and he basically has that grudge and he wants to kill them, and it's just all that drama. And you have Sabine, who is Elise's best friend and also a Bone Crier. But the thing about it is that she does not want to be a Bone Crier, but it's up to her to save her best friend when her best friend is captured, and it's also up to them to figure out a way to break the bonds between Elise and Bastian. I am ready.
My body is ready.
Second prompt is Carlton Banks, and we're meant to read the book with a prep school or boarding school setting. Okay, help me pick. Help me pick. Which of them? Which of them? Come up, sniff your way. Girls with Chopsticks by Suzanne Young. One, that cover is gorgeous, stunning. In this, we follow the girls at Innovations Academy, who basically are in this elite school that is training them on how to be the perfect ladies, you know, perfectly spoken, perfectly well behaved, not really ruffling any feathers, not rocking the boat, and things have been going swellingly well until Mena, our lead character, and her friends discover that things at Innovations Academy are not actually how they seem, and the truth of what the academy is doing has been hidden from the girls for too long, and so that sparks a rebellion. And it's amazing because now the girls are fighting back. I definitely am very intrigued by this, although I do know that it's so funny because I think that this book has very mixed reviews. Like, some people really love it and some people absolutely hate it. I think more people actually hate it than they love it. The next prompt is Ashley Banks, and we're meant to read a fun YA read with a black main character. And the book I chose for this is a book that I would be body reading with the people on my Patreon. Ray Bearer by Jordan Ufueko. I actually did read the arc of that book in August, and immediately I finished reading the arc, I pre-ordered the main copy because I absolutely love that story. We are body reading it. It's going to be a reread for me, and I'm very, very happy because the way I sawed through it when I was reading it the first time, I want to actually take my time to savor the experience this time around. So I'm really, really excited about that. So yeah, Ray Bearer, we follow a young girl who has lived all her life in seclusion, and when she's finally allowed to go to the main city, her mother gives her one wish, which is that by the time she gets the prince, who ends up being her first real friend, by the time she gets him to fall in love with her, she must kill him. I absolutely adored it. Teresai is my bae. It was just awesome. River is awesome.
And that's all I have to say about that.
The last one for the pop culture Minathon is, of course, Fresh Prince himself. Like, duh. And we're meant to read a 2020 release, and for that I am going to go with an arc I currently have, which is Where No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole. I cannot wait to read that book. It's a story about gentrification and basically this young girl who all this while thought that her neighbors were moving out, but turns out that neighbors were not technically not moving out, and it's a mystery. It's a murder mystery. I am very, very intrigued by it because I'm certain I've not hit it on this channel that I absolutely adore and I would die and live and do everything for Alyssa Cole, and she writes romances, but this is mystery. This is murder mystery, and from the reviews, people absolutely love it. I cannot wait to buy, like, once I'm done with the arc, I cannot wait to actually buy the physical finished book.
Shut up and take my money.
Moving on to the very last, yes, finally, the very last readathon on the list, which is the Bad Bitch Readathon. This readathon was created by Nyx, and I kid, like, it's such a brilliant creative readathon. I'm going to leave the announcement video, Nyx announcement video, in the description, but I'm also going to leave the music video that Nyx created for TBR. Like, she created a music video with songs and lyrics and shit. I'm like, creativity.
I am shooketh.
So it's the Bad Bitch Readathon. We basically are reading all about bad bitches because in this house we stand bad bitches. And the very first prompt is bad bitch. We're meant to read a book with a main character who loves themselves, who would protect their loved ones, and who would do anything to absolutely accomplish what it is that they want to do. So they would do anything to succeed. And the book I chose for that is Readathon by Jordan Ifueko, because if you read that book, you will know that Tyrosai is a very definition of a bad bitch. The second prompt is Frosty Bitch, and basically this is a main character that is seemingly cold and unfeeling. She basically doesn't care for anybody but herself, but eventually does warm up. The Frosty Bitch I am going to choose for this is an arc I have, Legendborn. Yes, Legendborn by Tracy Dion. We follow a young girl who is ready to leave her community, leave her childhood home, because her mother died when she was really young, and she's caught away her emotions from all of that. She just wants to get out of Dodge, and she's been calculating and calibrating the time when that would be, because she's going into this preppy elite school. But see, on the very first night when she gets there, she sees a demon feeding off the energies of humans, and then this person called Merlin shows up, says is a Legendborn, and then attempts to wipe her memory. But see, it does not succeed. But what happens in turn is that the lack of, or rather the attempt, then triggers Bree's memory, and she realizes that on the day her mother died, there was a Legendborn in the hospital. And so she's convinced that there's this conspiracy. She teams up with another student who also basically hates the Legendborns in order to find a way to infiltrate and basically bring them down. But then they find out that, see, the Legendborns are descendants of King Arthur, like King Arthur's knights, and basically a war is brewing, and they are the ones ready to fight. And it's a case of, what side would you be on during the war? And I'm ready, because it's going to be growth for her. She's going to go from, I don't really care about anybody, I just want to get out of Dodge, to, does she care about the world enough to save it? And I am ready for it. Now the third prompt is Silly Bitch, and we're basically following this main character who seemingly is just making a mess out of everything. Like, if it is that they were given a solution, like the solution was right in front of their face, they would still flail and absolutely miss it, because, I repeat, they are a silly bitch. Of course, eventually they do get to the promised land, or rather the goal at the end, but usually it's at the end, and you spent all that time just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? So basically, for this prompt, I'm going to choose an arc that would have you all losing your mind, because if you've spent any amount of time on my channel, you will know how much this series means to me. And the fact that I have an arc, my mind is blown. Yes, I have the arc for The Burning God by RF Kwong. I repeat, I have the arc for The Burning God by RF Kwong.
Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy?
And I'm certain we all know that as much as I absolutely adore Rin, Fang Runin is my bae and I would die for her, but she's such a silly bitch, because every single time you're like, she did it in Poppy War, but oh my god, in Dragon Republic. And I'm certain she'll still be up to some shenanigans in The Burning God, but we are going to stand Rin to the very end, even though she's a silly bitch. So yeah, that is the book I chose for that prompt. And the last prompt in that is thirsty bitch, and we're basically reading a book featuring a main character who is very sex positive, you know, and loves to have sex. And on this channel we support sex positivity, so I am going to be picking a book. I am body reading with Mina over at Mina Reads and Cindy over at Read with Cindy, because yes, we did body read You Had Me at Ola. I have thoughts, so I'll be talking about that book in my wrap up. But anyway, we're going to be reading If I Never Met You by Mary McFarlane, which basically follows this girl who works at a law firm, and a boyfriend and a partner basically of 10 years, like a whole has decade, breaks up with her. Trifling asshole. Basically breaks up with her, and she's dealing with all of that because, like, yo, they've been together for 10 years and they work in the same law firm. And while she's still reeling from that, news breaks that his girlfriend, you know, like his girlfriend is pregnant. And yes, there was a record scratch for me because I'm like, yo, that trifling ass, cheating ass piece of shit. Obviously, unless it is that his sperm is a bullet, and it was just like pew 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 pew, and not only was his sperm a bullet, but his sperm was also mutated in some way that would have a pregnancy show up the day after he breaks up with his girlfriend. If that's not the case, then yeah. Anyway, so basically his present girlfriend is pregnant. The rumor mill turns to her. She's humiliated, but then she decides to enter a contractual relationship, a fake relationship, a scratch my back, a scratch yours relationship with the bad boy in the firm in order to save face. And he agrees to it because the partners of the firm basically do not think he's serious enough, and so he needs to settle down, in quotes, to clean up his image. And these two pretend to date. So that is the last set of readathons I will be participating in September. But like I said, I would also be participating in body reads. And the very first body read I already mentioned is Ray Bearer by Jordan Ufueko, which I'm body reading with, you know, members on my Patreon. I'm also body reading, like I said, If I Never Met You with Mina and Cindy. But then I'm also body reading An Ember in the Ashes by Sabata Hare. Yeah, finally I'm getting into the series. I'm body reading An Ember in the Ashes by Sabata Hare with my very good friend Sarah over at Nova Serendipity. We have been body reading books since February last year. So yeah, I'm really excited for this. I know the bare bones of this because I do not want to be spoiled, but I know that there's a girl who is basically a servant and there's a boy who is a soldier, and the girl's brother is roped in with rebels or accused of treason, and so she basically has to turn into a spy in order to save her brother. And then you have the boy who is a soldier in the army, and basically the two of them would come together and collude in order to bring down an empire that was built to be reminiscent of the Roman Empire. That is all I know about this book, and I am ready because apparently word is that this book is beautiful but also very bloody. That Sabata Hare lives for what she feeds off of and drinks the tears of her readers, and what she does is to basically dig her hands into your chest, pull out your heart, squeeze it into a pulp, and then feed you the bloody remains. And I am ready to have that blood dripping down my throat. So wreck me, Sabata Hare. Wreck me. And finally, the last book I will be body reading with my friends is The Water Dancer by Tani Coates. I will be body reading this with Jerry over at Onyx Pages, Brittany over at Melanin Eclectic, Tati over at Musical Tati, and Sherry over at Obsidian Tangents. Like, we are ready for this. I am ready for this. I know I picked this up earlier, but like they had told me that, oh, let's just body read it together, Nora. And I'm like, okay, fine, I'll wait. So we're body reading this in September. I'm really excited about this. We follow Iram Walker, who grew up enslaved, and his mother was also enslaved, and when his mother was sold to another plantation and basically not even allowed the time to say goodbye to a child, he's raised separate from her. And when he grows up, the water dancer spirit kind of technically saves him from a almost fatal accident that would have had him drowning, and this save then sparks in him this desire to just leave, and so he leaves the plantation, and on this journey, you know, he runs into enslaved, he runs into slave owners, and in all that he also realizes that he needs to fight for his family, he needs to save his family, and so he comes back to come and rescue those he loves and his family, and I guess his mother. I do not really know that much about it because I do not want to be spoiled. So if I missed anything or if I said anything wrongly, do not correct me. When I read the book, I'll figure it out. But yes, so I am very, very excited about this. This is Ta-Nehisi Coates' first fictional work, and it's a fantasy novel. It's actually magical realism, so I'm very excited to see how that plays out. But yeah, those are all the books I'm going to be attempting to read in September. All 19 of them. I know, 19.
I'm fucked.
But yeah, let me know if any of these books are books you have read and you're like, yo, Nora, you will love it, or books that you want to read. Drop it down in the comments down below. If you like this video, do not forget to give it a big thumbs up. Check out my other videos. Subscribe if you want to, and if you do decide to subscribe, please click on that notification bell so you can know the minute I have a new video go up. I make new videos every Wednesdays and Sundays at 2 p.m. EST. Yes, that is 2 p.m. EST. And I'll see you soon. Until then, stay passionate, love books, love yourself. Bye. Come, Pop. Choose one. Choose one of those books. Yo. These are the next options is meant to choose from. As you can see, it's just sniffing. Why are you sniffing? Why you sniff? The only thing you sniff is your balls. Remember, Compop, you're always sniffing your balls. And now he's like, nope. I need my way out of here. Feed me, bitch. Feed me. Look at him. Look at him. He's over here. It's like, I can't see no treat on those things. Why? Why do you bother me? I always like how he's just like, if food is not in the conversation, I'm out of here. See the person. Compop, can you say that that is food? That is food. You know, that thing you used to eat a lot of? Don't you want food? Compop, don't you want food? These are the next choices, options for him to choose from. See, he's already over here sniffing. He's already sniffing. He's like, yo, bitch, where's my food? It's so cute when he's over there being nosy as fuck. Stop looking at my neighbors and help me pick a book. God damn. It's like, there is no food. I am offended. That is the face of someone who is insulted. Here is my boy. Come up, your treats. They're here. Can you see? Come up, move the treats. The treats. The treats are here. Baby, yo, why are you cleaning yourself when there's food? Food. There's food and you're cleaning your tail. Food. Come up. There is food. It's like, bitch, you keep lying to me. There's no food on there. There is food. Come up. Oh, there's no treat on there. I don't trust you. Yeah, scratch your ears, baby. Scratch your ears. Scratch your ears.